Hello, I'm Ailey's friend who reads books to you. Today we're gonna read A to Z Mysteries Detective Camp by Ron Roy. Chapter 1. Here you are, kids. The taxi driver told Dink, Josh, and Ruth Rose. Get out and stretch your legs, and I'll fetch you your luggage. Those kids stepped out of the taxi in Bear Walk, Vermont. They were standing next to a gravel driveway in front of an old lodge built of timber. A banner over the wide porch said, "Welcome to Detective Camp." Behind the lodge stood a red barn with its doors open wide. Dinkin noticed a few picnic tables on the lawn between the lodge and the barn. Across the driveway stood three log cabins surrounded by wild flowers, shrubs, and trees. Off to the side of the cabin stood a larger building. Dink noticed a sign that said "Washhouse." White arrows pointed boys to one door and girls to another. "Where are we supposed to sleep?" Josh asked. Like Dink, he wore cut-off jean shorts and a t-shirt. "Didn't you read the letter?" Dink asked, winking at Ruth Rose. "Josh Pinto sleeps in a bear cave." Dink's full name was Donald David Duncan, but his friends called him Dick. Josh didn't say anything, but he made a goofy face at Dick. "In those cabins, I guess," said Ruth Rose, pointing. "I see some other kids over there." Ruth Rose liked to dress all in one color. Today she wore pink from her headband to her sneakers. "Tell me again why we're in Bear Walk, Vermont," Josh said, glancing around. "I'll bet there are bears everywhere." "We came to detective camp because we love solving mysteries," Ruth Rose said. "Besides, none of us has been to a sleepaway camp before. It'll be fun. We'll learn all about—" "Yo!" someone called. The kids looked toward the cabin. Three teenagers were walking toward them. They each wore a white t-shirt with Detective Camp on the front and green shorts. Whistles hung from lanyards around their necks. "Are you the kids from Green Lawn, Connecticut?" A tall boy with a buzz cut asked. "Yes," Dink said. "I'm Dick, and these are my friends, Josh and Ruth Rose." "I'm Buzzy Steele," the boy said, smiling. "You two guys are in my cabin, the one with the moose over the door." "And I'm Andrew Doe," the girl said. She had red hair and pigtails. "Ruth Rose, you're in Fox's cabin with me. You'll have 9 roommates." The other boy had broad shoulders and dark skin. "I'm Lucas Washington," he said. "Call me Luke. I have their cabin with 8 more guys." "How many kids are here all together?" Dink asked. 26, Angie said. 16 boys and 10 girls. The taxi driver handed the kids packs and sleeping bags to them. "Have a good time," he said, getting back into the taxi. Then he turned the cab around and pulled away. "Let's get you kids into your cabins," Luke said, reaching for an armful of sleeping bags. "Everyone else got here this morning." They followed the 3 counselors onto the lawn. Stone paths led up to each of the 3 small porches. "After you get unpacked, we're all meeting down at Shady Lake," Angie told the kids. "About 20 minutes, okay? Just follow that path, and the lake will be right in front of you." "Ready to meet your cabin mates, Ruth Rose?" "Yes," Ruth Rose said. "See you later, guys." She followed Angie into a cabin with a wooden cutout of a fox over the door. "Later," Luke said. He looked next door. Buzzy led Dink and Josh through a door with a moose cut out over it. Inside the cabin 6 boys were reading and playing board games. A shelf in one corner was overflowing with books and games. Dink counted 4 sets of bunk beds. Near the door was a single bed. Dink assumed that was where Buzzy would sleep. "Yo guys, listen up," Buzzy yelled. "Come and meet Dink and Josh from Connecticut." 6 boys turned toward Dink and Josh. They smiled and one by one introduced themselves and shook hands. Dink tried to remember the 6 new names and faces. A black-haired boy named Billy Wong. A thin kid with braces called Hunter. I am Brendan, twins with blonde hair, so light it appeared white. Duck, a tall boy, and Campbell, a short blonde kid with a big smile. If you need to wash up or use the bathroom, that's all in the big building on the other side of Fox cabin, Buzzy told the boys. We have to go outside to the bathroom? Josh asked. Buzzy nodded. Yep. The showers are there too, he said. And don't let the hot water run too long or someone gets a cold shower. You all need to be down at Shady Lake in about 10 minutes, okay? Are we going to swim? Hunter asked. Are there snakes in the water? No and yes, Buzzy said, grinning. There are a few harmless water snakes, but we are not going swimming today. We're just having a meeting with all the other campers. Dink and Josh headed up for the only set of bunks, not piled with the other kids' stuff. I guess this one is ours, Dink said. Top or bottom? Top, Josh said, tossing his sleeping bag onto the mattress. That way, if a bear comes in, he gets you first, Dink grinned. Bears can climb, Josh, he said. I'll still take the top bunk, Josh said. He grabbed his backpack and climbed the ladder. Dink unrolled his sleeping bag and fluffed it up the pillow he found on his mattress. Then, as he emptied his backpack, he glanced out the window just over his bed. He could see a wooden fence separating the lawn from deep woods. He arranged his clothes in a cubby that already had his name on it. He set his toothbrush and other toilet articles on the windowsill. He brought a couple of books, which he stood next to his toothpaste. The titles were Wild Animals of Vermont and Danny Doom, Boy Detective. Josh was on top, wrestling with his sleeping bag. Are you ready? Dink asked. Almost, Josh said. My brother used his sleeping bag last, and they tied about 1,000,000 knots in the string. Okay, let's hustle, Buzzy called out. Moose Cabin is never late. Now let's go, little Moses. The other 6 boys stamped out the cabin door and raced for the path that led to the lake. A minute later, Buzzy followed them. Dink waited for Josh on the porch. Josh snuck up behind Dink and said, Come back inside. I want to show you something. What? Dink said as he followed Josh. Come on, we're gonna be late on our first day. Look, Josh said. He was pointing to a small wooden chest under Buzzy's bed. It had a hasp, and the padlock was locked in position. Josh, what do I care if, after the other kids left, I saw Buzzy hide something in here, Josh said. He was really careful, like he didn't want anyone to see what he was doing. But Josh, the snoop saw him, right? Dink asked. Josh nodded. This is detective camp, right? He said. Well, I'm being a detective. So that's the end of chapter 1. A to Z Mysteries. Detective Camp. So how was the story? For me, it was really exciting. I can't wait what happens in chapter 2. We are gonna read chapter 2 in the next time. In chapter 1, the detective camp with Josh, Dink, and with Rose began. Wow, I love detective, and when I was young, My dream was to be a detective. I love solving mysteries like Ruth Rose, Dink, and Josh. So let's see you and next time, and we're gonna read chapter 2. Bye!